Hey, what is up you guys, and welcome to this episode of Eddie's Customs and Restorations. And here we have the C6 LED rock lights by MICTUNING, or Make It Cool Tuning. And right away we see our 4 light pods with about 12 inches worth of a pigtail. No additional wiring comes with this kit, so you will have to purchase additional wire to connect these rock lights. The kit comes with 4 different color of lenses. Included colors are red, amber, green, and blue. Clear lenses are also provided to protect the rock lights from road debris. To install, you simply clip on one side at a time, and to remove, you pry on those same clip edges, which is frankly easier said than done. I found myself needing a key when changing covers while the lights were installed on the vehicle, which is not a bad thing. To avoid noise that can come from metal to metal contact, rubber gaskets are included in the kit to put between the rock light and the wheel wells, which in some cases are made of steel. Mounting hardware includes 4 Allen head bolts, 4 washers, and 4 nylon locking nuts to keep them from coming undone, and of course a couple of zip ties. The construction of them seems pretty tough, with each light weighing in at 2.5 ounces, which is basically half the weight of your typical cell phone today. So, good amount of weight for a small light. And all 4, of course, gives a total of roughly 10 ounces. Now, I must apologize ahead of time for the lack of a clean vehicle today, but our driveway is pretty muddy at the moment, and living out in the country makes for a pretty dirty engine base. So we're going to go ahead and do a full install right now. Here's wiring, and then there's more over there. But I want to get one thing out of the way before we get started. Before everybody starts roasting me on the comments on how bad the wiring is and mix match colors with wiring and all that stuff, that is not a permanent installation that I'm going to do for this vehicle that I'm currently using for this review. Those lights are actually going on this beast behind me. It's a Blazer K5, but clearly this vehicle is not ready, and it's got a lot of work ahead. So these lights were sent to me by the MICTUNING, Make It Cool Tuning company for review, and we're going to check them out. So I'm basically going to do an installation video, so these steps are going to be correct. However, you could do a much cleaner job on your end because, of course, as I said, this is not a permanent installation for me, which is why I'm not being so picky, but I will show you, again, connections and how to do stuff properly. And then just follow these steps along, and you'll know basically how to hook these lights up as per the company. The company did specify some of these things that are going to be mentioned on how to connect these lights up. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add an extension, and let me show you how to do that now. First, you will cut a small amount of protective covering from the red and black wires from the light pigtail to prepare them for the uninsulated butt connectors. Then get yourself 2 long wires, preferably red and black to match, that will extend from your rear tires and past your front tires, and then cut the same amount of the protective cover on those as well. Before making your connections, be sure to slide your heat shrink on at this time. As mentioned, we will be using uninsulated butt connectors to unite these wires. I must say that if you plan on doing a lot of wiring in the future, you should really pick up a pair of ratcheting style crimpers off Amazon. Not only do they make the job so much easier on your hands, but they also ensure a perfect crimp every time. On a side note, the C6 lights wires are roughly 20 gauge wires, which is pretty thin, and right away tells us that they don't require much amperage to run. So be sure to at least use 20 gauge or even 18 gauge wire for this application. Never go thinner than the wiring provided. Now that the crimps are done, we can slide our heat shrink over and use a heat gun or a lighter to cause the shrinkage. Preferably use marine grade heat shrink to ensure a nice waterproof connection. Do this extension process for both rear lights, and make sure you do good solid connections like these for all of the following unions we will be doing today. Once you've gotten your extension wired in, of course, remember our color codes are going to be a little different here. Don't pay attention to anything else other than the ends, okay? So you give yourself a good amount of extension, because you got to account for the fact that that light is going to be mounted up there, and then it's going to curve, which that's going to steal some of your distance right there, and then it's going to run through and then go over to the next light, right? There's two ways that you can install this. You can do a cleaner one, which takes a little longer, but you can run the wiring through the inside of the vehicle and then run it underneath your plastics right there. When you open the door, that plastic that's down there on the bottom that keeps your carpet nice and tucked in, you can run it through there, or you can run it through the outside of the vehicle, which in my case, that's what I'm going to do, since this is not a permanent installation. So I'm going to run it through the bottom side. Of course, you should wire loom all that, since the wiring is going to be out in the elements. So that's what we're going to do next. Let me go ahead and mount this guy up. To mount the lights, you simply position the light where you want it and use a marker or some form of marking tool, and you will make a mark in the center, which will be your mounting hole for the bolt, and then you will make another mark, which will be where the wire will pass through. These two holes will be roughly 1.25 inches away from each other, center to center. Then drill your holes and mount the light with the supplied hardware. So now we got that pod light ran all the way under here, and we got our wiring coming up here, and now we have this guy that we gotta put on. So now I gotta put that guy on there, mount it up there, and then get the wiring up here. And that is our passenger side front. This one is coming from the back as mentioned, and this one is coming from the front. Okay, so we're gonna hook these up together just like this, but we're gonna come back to this. We're not gonna finalize anything here just yet. And now we're here to our other side. I gotta mount the driver's side rear. Driver's side rear now mounted up, and right here, this is the wiring from the back, driver's side rear, and got our front one right there mounted up as well, which is this guy right here. So as we did on the other side, we're gonna put these together just like this. But not only are we going to connect those together, if you recall, we had that extension that goes all the way to the other side, because we need to bring these two connections to connect with the other lights, and we're taking everything over to the other side because the battery is located at the other side of the engine compartment. So we do need to bring these connections together here. And of course, you want to do a better connection. This is just for demonstration purposes, but you want to connect all of these, the black with the black and the red with the red. You want to make those connections, okay? Follow the better steps as I showed you in the past. That's a proper connection. This is an improper connection, but this will work for our demonstration today. And now that we got our hack job of wiring done here, let's move on to the other side. So again, this is by no means permanent, which is why I'm just leaving everything out here, but it serves as a very good guide for you guys when you guys are hooking this up. Now remember, I said we were gonna return back to this wiring over here. So here we are again, and these are our two connections from the passenger side. And what we're going to do is we're going to mate those together. We're going to keep them together. Of course, you want to do a connection like the one that I showed you in the past. That's one, and that's two. Now on this side, that is coming from the other side, right on the driver's side. What we are going to do is add just some additional wiring. See, this is all this is, just another piece of wire. And this one, the ground is going to serve as a this is the one that we're going to add the switch to, which I'll show you how to do here in a second. But this is very simple. On the power side, we're going to want to add a fuse. I'm not going to add one for this particular deal, because again, this is literally temporary. But let me just continue on here. Now what we have here is This is the one that's coming from the other side of the vehicle, right? The driver's side. And you've been asking yourself this whole time, when in the world are we ever going to connect to the battery? Well, this is the time. So this additional wire that we added right here, that one is the one that's going to connect to the battery, and then we're going to add a switch to this side, and I'll show you in a second. But this is where everything starts to come together. So our ground is going to connect to the ground here. Okay, I'm going to get my hand out of the way right now. Let me make this connection. And yes, this is the time to add some heat shrink. Of course, I'm not going to do that right now because, well, it's far away from me at this very moment. And again, this is just for demonstration. So we're just gonna tape all this. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do situations. And we're gonna grab our red cable and do the exact same thing. Okay, so here we're all crimped up. Let me separate all this. So here we are, we're all split up here and taped up. But please, I can't stress it enough, don't just do twisting connections and then taping them up, because that is not correct. You want to do crimp style connectors, and of course use some heat shrink. If you want to use tape after that, that's fine. But you know, really try to do crimp style connections. That way you have some good, you know, these are good connections. These don't come off, as long as of course you do a good crimp. I'll post a link on the description of these crimpers. These are very good crimpers. I got these off Amazon. But anyway, let's move forward. The next order of business is we need to hook up everything now. So we're gonna go ahead and hook up our power. Okay, and I'm gonna tap in to this stud right here. There's a wing nut, and I got an eyelid connector here, and that's gonna go in there nicely over that stud. So again, you'd want to add, you know, a nice little heat shrink on that just to make your connection look nice. And not only for aesthetic purposes, but also to keep that from touching anything. Okay, see, that's a good nice connection right there. So this guy is gonna go here, but before I connect anything, I want to get everything done. Now once I connect this ground, okay, so I'm going to try to keep this very simple just so you guys can follow me through very easily. Okay, so I'm going to take this wing nut off. So we're connected there, and now without a switch, these lights are actually going to turn on right now. As soon as or better yet, let me stand back here a little bit, see if maybe there you can get a glimpse. But right here the lights are going to turn on. See that they came on right here. See? So who in the world wants to kill their battery like that, right? So let me show you how easy it is to add a switch. Remember this ground wire that we just finished assembling here? Well, we're going to cut that guy in half. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to attach that ground wire, the half anyways, and now we have our ground connector right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of that off right here, and then we're going to get one of these connectors that'll fit on a switch. And of course you're going to mount that switch wherever you want it in the vehicle. Either it'd be on your dash, on the floor, wherever, you know, wherever it is that you're going to put it. And I know here comes the comments on the floor. Why on earth would you put it on the floor? And what I meant was, like, you know, below, like on the dash there by your feet or whatever. Okay, so we got that connector there. We can let that one hang. If that was the positive, you definitely don't want to just toss it like that, but it's the ground. The ground can touch anything other than the positive, so you're safe there. And then we do the exact same thing on the other side, which this is the side that is tied into the lights. Okay, so this side is to the lights, and this side is to the battery. And if you notice what we're doing already, we're basically creating a interruption. So now what we're gonna do is, this is actually a two-way switch. So if I go this way, it's on, then this is off, and then if I go up, that's on again. So I can actually control two different accessories with this switch, but you can get one that's just a straight on and off. So all you basically do is you connect these two. Okay, I'm not gonna go in all the way because these things are a pain to take them back off, but I mean, you get the idea. We're hooked up right here. Let's move you back a little bit there, and you can see that it turns on, right? There we go. And the night has come. Look at that, super bright. The only reason why this one comes out more is because I have a bigger wheel opening on the front than I do on the back. That's why the back is like a smaller half moon. But so yeah, basically the higher the lift, the more light you're gonna have shooting out next to you. So I mean, that's only like a 1-inch difference, you know, from the front to the back, and look how much projection, how much extra projection we're getting there. It's crazy. All right, let's go for a ride. So naturally, since I do a lot of towing, I was very curious as to how the lights would look combined with the trailer. So tried the white ones out first. I gotta say, I really like them. And the amber, or yellow I should probably say, they look pretty good too. They give more of construction vibes, I guess. But they look good, they do the part, and they definitely catch attention. And if somebody hits you when you got these yellow or amber lights on, I mean, man, they must be blind. But let's get rid of that trailer and let you appreciate the lights by themselves. So here we are again with the yellow or amber. Doing a pass here with the headlights on. And here shortly, we're about to do another pass with the headlights off. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to say that my favorite ones are the white ones because I feel that they're a lot more useful in the event that, you know, there's a breakdown or something like that. I mean, that can really help you out as far as visibility goes while you're mechanicking on your own rig. So yeah, very handy, and that projection is just phenomenal. And I think it goes without saying that they match my headlights pretty nice. And then we have red. Maybe it's Halloween. Maybe it just makes your Jeep look cool. Regardless, red lights on any car looks good. Well, maybe not on this thing. Speaking of holidays, what about Christmas? Or is the Grinch ruining it for everyone this year? Well, on the serious note, I think these lights are pretty awesome and are a pretty good bang for your buck. Well, if you found value in this video, please hit that like button so that YouTube knows that this is good content, and consider subscribing for more automotive videos. Till next time, you guys be safe. See ya.
Make it cool, MICTUNING.